Hey guys, I'm here with Dim. Dim, say hello.
Hi.
If you haven't watched the other video yet, we did a video on Dim's journey through the 3-week Kickstarter we had. But for anyone who doesn't know you, Dim, give a little bit of a spiel about your journey up to the Kickstarter and who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Dimity and I'm a busy mum of four boys. So I have four boys under the age of 9. Um, and yeah, well, what got me on my journey, I'm just trying to think back, it's probably about 3 years ago now. Yeah, it would be 3 years ago
Yeah, it'd
because
be pretty
my
close.
youngest turned 4. So after I had my youngest, who's 4 years old now, I got to the heaviest of weight that I've ever been, and I've never been an overweight person, but yeah, I got myself to about 80 kilos, which for me is quite heavy.
Yep.
I was feeling very ordinary.
So what do you weigh now so people can have a comparison,
I'm
roughly?
roughly around, I actually don't step on the scale,
Yeah.
but I'm roughly around 55-ish.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. So, so I was 80 kilos, and I went to my doctor, as I'm a depression and anxiety sufferer, and been on meds for years,
Yep.
and I wanted to come off my meds, and she discussed, for the first time in my life, I actually had her say, Dimmy, I want you to step on the scales, and I've never ever had that sort of thing I've never worried about weight or anything like that. And
Yeah.
she said, you're the heaviest you've ever been, and she asked me if I was still dancing because I was a dancer and previous all my life and always kept pretty active, and I wasn't. I was just being a mum and
Yeah.
just focusing on that, and yeah, it just really got me into the thinking mode of, gosh, can I? I've got 4 children now, and dancing was a bit hard for me, option-wise, like the time-wise, to try and juggle it in with being a mum to 4 children. So I was living in Howland at the time, and Dawn had she trains in the Fit Parents group.
Yeah, yeah. Dawn's part of the group too, yeah.
Yes, and she was doing boot camps and did some personal training, and I contacted Dawn, and I had no experience whatsoever in gym.
Yeah, so you never did it before because it was mainly dancing before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did not know what a burpee. I couldn't run from here a box away, and I had no experience whatsoever with weights or anything like that at all. It was just totally out of my comfort zone. And I thought, look, I'm gonna really have a crack at this. And I'd been working with Dawn, doing 2 nights a week of her, personal training program and things like that. And my goal at that time was to lose weight.
Yeah, okay.
And after about probably 3 months of working with Dawn, is pretty passionate about triathlons and things like that. And she had a talk to us about doing the all women's try, and I
Yes.
thought, I was in the zone of stepping, out of my comfort zone, and that totally is. I've never been a swimmer, never considered myself a swimmer. School swimming carnivals I never attended. And things like that. So I thought, God, I'm going to have to swim here and ride a bike. So I purchased a bike
Yeah, cool.
and then had to start running. So it was only a short distance try, and did a bit of training for that. It was all fun, so that's a good one for any women out there
Yeah.
want to step out of their comfort zone. The all women's triathlon, which is in November, and it's a really fun atmosphere. It's women that are really like, as in,
It's cool. Like from what you say and what everyone else who does it says, like it just there's no judgment in it. Just
yeah,
go along,
exactly.
join in, and it's really fun, which is the good thing.
It's a 300-metre swim, 14k bike ride, and a 3k run, but you do it at your own pace. There are, there are experienced triathletes out there that support and motivate you. The atmosphere is just wonderful. Anyway, I did that, and that was
Yeah.
my kickstart for, oh my God, I've just completed something that's out of my comfort zone, and it just made me ready for more. So,
And that
yeah,
did that start your bug for wanting to
that
run?
started my journey then into forgetting about weight loss.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was losing weight, but it made me forget about weight loss and then focus on, I want to be fitter.
Yeah,
So I
cool.
got out of the zone of I want to be fitter. So, and then running started. So yeah, city to city adventure just for purely running. I was just training running then,
Yep,
and yeah, and then from
that's
city to
cool.
city ended up a half marathon.
Which is awesome. And
Yes.
so it was kind of cool how when you started, like with a lot of people, it starts with a weight loss goal.
Yes.
And then as you get into the journey, you start realizing that that might not be as powerful as it was at the start. You need something else, and yours turned into, I just want to be fit and
It
be
was
able to
just
do the
purely
things.
and stepping out of my comfort zone. So
Yeah,
I like running because running I never dreamed of running ever and things like that. I didn't like running.
yeah.
I didn't think I liked running. And yeah, and then yeah, so it was just purely fitness and like as you just asked me before, what do I weigh? I have not stepped on the scales for I don't even own a set of scales. I haven't owned a set of scales in 2 years.
Which is
So
perfect because,
yeah,
like we do in the group and we talk about all the time, like if it's a big thing that you want to get done, it's fine. You can weigh it, but it's
yeah,
one of those things that it can you can have the best week ever, and then if the scale doesn't move, you think it's a write off. But you've just done
yes.
7 days of awesome things that can just get wiped away just by one number.
I know, and you do tend to. I found on my weight loss journey. So as I said, I was 80 kilos and I'm down to 55 now. In that time, you do hit some, and I can even tell you the numbers now. I remember sitting on 62 kilos and I couldn't shift it for 3 weeks, if you know what I mean. And I was
Yeah,
doing everything I possibly could. So you do get to numbers and you think, I am doing everything, but I shift it, and you will sit on it
yeah.
for a little bit, and then they move, and then you'll find in another after another 5 or so kilos, you might sit for again for that's what I found, and apparently that is quite normal, but
Yeah,
that is something, and people do probably get a bit um, you know disheartened about that, and they go, I can't shift it. This is going to be my bed, but this is just what I'm destined to be. But it's not. Yeah,
it is hard because that's it's kind of like a set point. It loses a bit and it has to stay there for a while to get used to it, and then it'll
yes,
go again.
yes,
And that's the
yes.
part where it's like I'm trying so hard and nothing's changing. When in fact your body is changing, it just doesn't show on the scale. Everything else is changing. But all right. So started with jumping on the scales because the doctor asked you to. Got into training with Dawn, which is awesome, and then got into the try and running. And then you come into the Kickstarter last year, which people can listen to the other talk we did about that and why you did it. But now let's talk about what's happened since the Kickstarter. What have you been doing with us?
Well, since the Kickstarter, so I did my Kickstarter, and when I did my Kickstarter, I'd set the goal of Spartan.
Yeah,
Spartan in Bright. So Beast is 21 kilometres and it's obstacle racing. And yeah, I'd set that goal and I thought, my God, I'm a single mum, so I'm on my own with the 4 boys. I don't get the time to go to a gym. And look, I'm happy, I was content with my fitness. I'm a pretty highly motivated person, as in I can motivate myself.
yeah. Self motivation is pretty easy.
Yes,
Yeah,
but it was knowledge for me. I needed help with strength and that because that was out of my. Yes, I can run, but I need some strength work and things like that. So I thought now that was when I called on you. So yeah, so I got to so far. Yeah, I've completed a Spartan Beast.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and that was all just working with Chris here and really basic things like the PLP.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the programming. What was your
Yeah.
biggest struggle? Like when we started doing it, we go, okay, we got Spartan Bright, which just to give everyone an idea, it was 21 Ks, something like 30 or 40 obstacles, and a lot of upper body strength. So it was lots of stuff where you had to hang and pull yourself or crawl.
I had none, and I literally had none when I
Yeah.
started working with
And
you.
like,
I've got it in my legs and running, but as for upper body,
yeah,
I could barely hang from my pull-up bar. That was how I started, was hanging.
yeah. So we basically, as an idea, we started at zero, which gives everyone an idea of like how we progressed it. And then you also had the time constraints too because you had 4 kids. So we had to figure out a way that didn't take a lot of time. You were able to show up every day and do something, and you were still able to do the running part, which was important for the race as well. So the time commitment was in the running, and we had to make the strength kind of easy to fit around your lifestyle. So give your explanation of PLP. So what it started out like for you and how we progressed it all the way up until Spartan in November last year.
Yeah. Well, PLP is your push-up, lunge, and pull-up.
Yeah.
And I could not do a pull-up. So I thought, now how am I going to achieve PLP here without knowing how to do a pull-up? I could do a push-up.
Yeah, yeah.
And lunging's fine, but for a struggle. And and even when Grella said to me, okay, well, if you can't do a pull-up, we'll just hang.
Yeah.
30 seconds. I think it was 30 seconds, I think the time was it. And then I
pretty
thought,
much.
That's good. I can do that. I reckon I'll be able to do that. And I went out and hung from my pull-up bar. And I think I could only get to like 16 or 18 seconds or something like that. That's all I could hold. So
which is,
we worked on that.
Yeah. We stayed on that for a while too.
That was my habit. So when you hear Chris talking about habits and things like that habit to do, I think it was 3 times a day or something, I would go out and hang from my pull-up bar for as long as I possibly could, in the aim of hanging longer each time if I could.
Yeah.
So, and I think that took about a good 8 weeks or so, or even probably, 7 to 8 weeks before I could hang for the full 30 seconds.
Yeah, it took a little bit, and it was sort of like teaching the body how to do it, because they'd never done it before and never knew didn't know what you were doing. So hitting those repetitions throughout the day, which was like you had 5 minutes spare, walk outside, hang from the bar, go back inside.
Yeah, and that's literally what I did. I literally just go out, hang, and then come back in, and I just go on with my day. It's really easy.
And that was
back then, but so and then we did the PLP, and then from then I think we did the holds, didn't we? Practicing the holds and things like that. So it was a process for a pull-up. It was a process.
And like sort of when you think about like the journey for your pull-ups, is sort of the journey that a lot of people go in the coaching group we have, is where start small and you showed up every day and did a little bit every day, and it got better, and the sort of like a balloon, it just expanded, and your pull-up strength, which for anyone who doesn't know, a pull-up is basically hanging from a bar and bringing your chin over the top and chest to the bar. Starting from 0, we got to, what did we get up to just before the event? You were able to do 5?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it was something like that, yeah.
So you were able to get down into Spartan and be able to do 5 chin-ups, which, talk about the Spartan race now. So what did you learn through the Spartan race, the big one last year?
Well, the big one, now I've actually done 2, but I'll talk about the Beast, because the Beast, I went in and I had progressed with my strength.
Yeah.
I did. But yeah, Beast really put me in the mode of, oh God, I really need, and I wanted to work more on my upper body strength. So it was a test to go, if I went into Beast without doing the program and doing even just my basic strength work with Chris here, I would not have finished it.
Yeah. It was hard. That was a hard race.
I would not have finished it, but it was my test for my strength. So things like monkey bars, I've never, and monkey bars is very similar to your pull-up, so that's where you need your strength, that sort of thing. So the monkey bars at Bright, I didn't get across at all. I think I did. I think I got 2 or 3 rungs across.
Yeah. And it's sort of, it was kind of, and what we found, so you did the race, and you found like as good as your chin-ups got, it was still really hard. So it was like
yes.
It was an example is like the obstacle is the way for you. You did the race and you saw the things that were the biggest struggle, and you straight away went, I want to get better at them. So you saw what the obstacle was, which is like what we try and do in the group is, what's your obstacle? How can you use that obstacle to fuel your next step? Which is kind of what you did. Instead of trying to shy away from it, the obstacle is usually the way forward.
Yes, exactly. And you've got to, as in like, you've got to use things as a test.
Yeah, and
what I mean by I used Beast was pretty much my learning experience.
Yeah, a new frame of reference kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
So you're like, I thought things like training, I did all this stuff and thought that was hard. Then you did Beast, and you're like, okay, that's my new frame of reference. That was really hard. Moving forward, this is how much I can actually do now.
Yes.
And
Yeah, and that's
everyone's journey is kind of the same. It just depends on where you start, but you always start, find a new frame of reference and find out what you're good at, and then you move to the next step and you keep moving
yes,
forward, which is
yes.
good. All right, so
No,
what was your big takeaways for you? What was the biggest takeaways from doing the beast and moving into? We did a super not long ago, so we did another obstacle race. So going from the beast to the super, what was your big takeaways and what did we change with your training?
okay, yeah, no, this was where it got fun. It got, yeah.
Hmm.
So Beast was in November and Super was only about a month ago.
Yeah,
So
not even. Yeah,
Beast gave me highly motivation to go, okay, let's really amp up some strength work here. I want to really amp up my carries and
yeah, yeah.
doing things with carries, keep working on my PLP. Because I knew it was getting better. Once you start seeing progression, you want more. So
And that's what's good about PLP because it just goes. Day one is one rep, day two is two. So you're seeing progression every day, so it builds in that motivation to come back.
yes, totally. So PLP kept going with my PLP, and then things, the 5 minute movement snacks, they're the things that I love to do. So
Yeah,
my 5 minute movement snacks then consisted of things like sandbag carries.
yeah,
So I have a sandbag. Even if you don't have a sandbag, anything like a rock, anything, just going out your day, going throughout your day at home, 5 minutes, go and pick it up, walk around with it, do what you got to do with it. So yes,
yeah. It's
carries.
perfect.
I did my carries on my shoulders. My rack carry. Rack carry was something that I struggled with. That was another thing that was a progression thing. I wanted to get to be able to carry a sandbag, in front of me for 2 minutes, and I couldn't I couldn't even. I think it was a minute I could get to, and I couldn't break that. But we broke that down
Yeah,
into some steps too, and now we can carry it. But yeah, with the difference between my two obstacle races and my strength work, by amping it up, and it was only just a little bit, like
yeah.
as in really focusing on that. I got to do my super, which was last month, and I was still a bit, I'm not confident with my upper body strength. I don't think, I'll fail. I'm going to use monkey bars here as an example because that was always a
Yeah.
challenge for me. Monkey bars came up, and I actually got really nervous about it. And I thought, oh, here they are. And I even said to the person that was on the thing, I'm going to get burpees for this. I'm going to fail this already. And she's like, oh, that's okay. Go have a go. So, yep, put the dirt on my hands, and I thought I'm going to all I had, and I actually got across, and I've never been so excited in my whole life.
It's pretty
I
mad.
got right across, and that was something in my head too. Monkey bars for this year. I hadn't actually put it as a locked-in goal, but I thought to myself, if I can achieve monkey bars by November this year, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah,
But I achieved them, and I hadn't even been down to the park and even played on the monkey bars. All I've been doing is just my PLP. So I haven't
yeah.
actually been going out and going, oh, I've done monkey bars every day or tried them. It's just literally PLP that's
And it's
right across, and I was like, wow.
and like how to give everyone an idea, how long does it take you to knock out your strength training every day, roughly? I know we've got to higher numbers now, but generally, what was it take? What were you doing for strength time-wise every day up until the Spartan race?
It's very, very minimum.
Yeah,
Very minimum. So when my PLP have got up to like I'm up in high numbers now.
yeah,
I set that out into my day 3 to 4 times a day, and it's 5 minutes.
yeah. So it's pretty. The time commitment's really small.
It's really small, and you think to yourself, and I went in thinking, oh, how am I going to,
Yeah,
this little training, how am I going to be able to, achieve the big things, like I'm not a big person. How am I going to be able to carry those sandbags? How am I going to be able to, do all this?
well, you think about like the sandbags they give you. So you're 55 kgs. The sandbag you took at Spartan in Bright, it was like 30, 40 kgs or something.
Yeah,
So it was like half your body weight, basically.
yeah, it was, and I didn't realise halfway through that, and the guys were looking at me going, you've got a male sandbag. And I'm like, oh, God.
You're like, yeah, I do.
I'm like, oh, and I think, will you be able to tell how long did we for? And it was uphill.
Oh, It was a 400 to 600 meter loop, but it was up, winding up a hill, across the top, and winding back down. It was hard. Like I still struggled doing it. So you doing the mailbag is pretty awesome.
And I completed it. So I
Hmm.
did get a burpee penalty, and it was
Ha.
just to strengthen my legs, but that comes from your lunges
Hmm.
in your PPP. So
So
um,
let's talk about like when we were building up to the Spartan in Melbourne, which was in March,
yep,
just gone. There was a period of time in there too where you were like wanting to add all these other things in. Do you remember that?
yes, I do.
Yeah, so talk a bit about that and see what
I
the thought
will.
process was and how we broke it down after that.
Yeah, I got to a point, and as I said, it only takes me 5 minutes or
Yeah.
so to do what I've been doing. That's my my PLP, and just my pick up my sandbag, carry it around for a bit. And I thought to myself, I'm not doing enough. I felt like I wasn't doing enough, and started panicking a bit, thinking, oh, I just want to be able to get through this and I want to, achieve more. And I felt like I wasn't doing enough, and I wanted to achieve more.
Yeah.
And I started putting pressure on myself to try and do more
Mm.
and add things into my day. Got tired, got frustrated, got disheartened, and put myself into red light zone.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I think everyone does it every now and then. We think we have all this space to do all this stuff, but as parents,
Yes,
especially as you, because you've been a mum to 4 kids, you got all these other priorities already.
yes,
This kind of stuff that we try and do is the fifth priority. As weird as it sounds, you got all these other things that take up space. This training is meant to be the fifth thing, and we do it in a way that's super easy and he's able to show up. And when we were talking about it, I remember it happening. And we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's see what it's like. And it was like 2 days in, and you're like, this is shit. Let's change it.
this is shit. And you end up getting into the zone where you can't be bothered then, like, 'cause you're just
Yeah.
going, oh, I can't fit it in. And I think I even said, nah, today's rest day.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, and
You're
it's
in that
kind of,
light zone, you got to pick something minimal. And I
yeah.
didn't even have the energy to do something. Like, I was just like, no, I just want to rest.
And like, sort of like the key, like we're figuring out now, and you'll figure it out too since the journey you've had, is like, just the right amount of intensity or the right amount of work so you can do it yourself and without needing motivation to do it. Because as soon as it's sort of you need that motivation, or if it's a lot to do yourself, it's really hard to do. That's why we do the 5 minutes and keep it really small, so it's like no brainer. I can just get out there and do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. And that's all you need, literally. Like, and that's been my biggest lesson, doing the Fit Parents, is the less is more,
Yeah.
and the progression is there. Like, I've progressed so much, and I'm excited for progression now. Like, as in, all I'm literally doing now is working on my PLP. Like,
Yeah.
I'm up in the high numbers.
Yeah, talk about that. What you up to now?
I'm today 52
Yeah, so
PLP.
give it everyone an idea. It's basically today, Dim's got to do 52 lunges, 52 pull-ups, and 52 push-ups, which sounds horrendous and sounds hard to do. But when you start where you started, back at day one, and build it up 1 rep a day all the way up to day 52, it's very manageable and it doesn't feel hard. You just break it down. So it always stays easy, but you just move it around your day.
And that's what I've done. So, I think it was from 1 to 20. So day 1 to day 20, I could fit that,
Easy, yeah.
like literally one, I just go out and do it one, do
Yeah.
my thing with, I think it's one set.
One set pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and then from 20 to
30, 40.
30,
Yeah.
40, I broke it then up into parts of my day.
Yeah.
So 3 parts of my day, and now, as I said, I'm up to day 52. I'm now doing more sets.
Like it,
Four times. So Chris might be able to explain that a bit easier. But yeah, I do four sets a day.
yes, so the idea being is that you keep it easy. So the easier it is to do the reps, the easier it is for you to go up, show up and do it, and the easier it is for you to walk back out and do it again later that day. If you did, say, your push-ups to complete failure and your chin-ups to complete failure, to go back out and do it again 2 hours later would be too hard. So the
Yes.
idea with this is that it always feels easy and you don't need to warm up. You just go out. It's like a dance. You're just moving through the movements and then you move on to something else you're doing through the day. That's what's good about it.
That's right. Yeah, and that's literally how I roll now, and you know. So once you keep going up, moving up in the numbers, your body, you'll know.
Yeah.
And you'll go, okay, this is getting hard now. I think I'll snack it out now in 4 times, and do less reps each time. And you tend to learn, and I'm not a smart person, I say, but,
No.
yeah, you just tend to know. Your body lets you know, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
this is tough. And it literally doesn't take long. So 4 parts of my day, I just, my prompts, like for me, like I'm at home, me and things like that. Well, I've got 3 at school, and I've got my youngest. He's at home sitting on the couch over there. But he actually comes out. He knows the role now,
Which is cool.
and he comes out, and I've got my pull-up bar, and I have a set of rings out there too. And he comes out with me, and he gets his chair too, and he joins in. He gets down and does the push-ups with me, and sandbag because I do a loaded.
Yeah, it's perfect too. So
Yeah, and look, you know what? Some days though too, if I don't, I still get my numbers in. But if it's a day where because I do a lot of running and that too, I won't load my lunges. So
yeah.
I'll do my lunges as they are. But I just when I take the kids to school, that's all done. I'll go out quickly, do my, my 13, my 13 pull-ups, my 13 push-ups, my 13 lunges. Okay, that's done. Midday. Okay, I'm just about to have lunch. I just, I've got into a routine now where I just do it. So yeah, go out and do another, and just keep going for the 4 sets. Midday, I do another lot. Okay, before I pick up the kids from school, I'll do my next lot, and then the evening before dinner, I do my 4th set, and then I'm done.
And it's sort of like you've figured out how to reduce that barrier to doing it and finding that thing that you like doing. Like you're loving the PLP now because you're seeing the strength improvement and it suits the goal that we're looking for in the end too, which is dominating Spartan races and obstacle races.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the same with like someone else could be, or take dancing for example. Their love might be dancing, reducing the barrier, dance every day. As long as it's movement, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Even running.
Yeah.
I know when I started out running, like you don't, to train for a half marathon, you don't go out and run Ks every day or every second day or anything like that. Before I did my half marathon, I hadn't even run 21 Ks.
Yeah.
It was just starting from the basics, run walking and things like that. But if I could add to anyone out there who's a cardio person and like loves their running or cycling or anything like that, things like the PLP and the strength work have really, really aided me with my running.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. My running has improved. Look, I'm not an amazing, fast, good runner. I'm not a podium runner, but I progress with my running.
Yeah.
I love it. And I know since doing my strength,
Good hug.
Since doing my strength work, I'm really noticing an improvement and strength in my running.
Yeah, and less injuries too. You haven't had any setbacks.
Less injuries because I did have an injury after my half marathon. Nothing too major, but I could feel my hips and my knees a bit.
Yeah.
And I love trail running, so I get up to nail can and things like that. So I do put a lot of pressure on my legs, going up and running 10, 15 Ks up at nail can. It's tough. So the strength work really, it's really important. And physio, once you've had an injury and you go to a physio, they're going to recommend you strength exercises for you.
Pretty much.
Getting better. So I run pain-free. I am lucky, touch wood, I'm lucky, I can run pain-free.
Touching timber everywhere.
Because running is hard, but the strength work really helps. It's been a godsend to my running. If I wasn't doing any strength work, I really don't think I'd be improving.
Yeah.
My running. So yeah.
All right, let's talk about. There's some other stuff we worked on in the period too, where we worked on your energy and play.
Energy and play.
Yeah. So give an example. So if you had to describe in an elevator pitch, what does energy in play? What would that mean to a parent?
Well, energy is for me is just energy for me is you need your energy to be a mother
Yeah,
or parent throughout the day. So you don't want to feel tired. You don't want to feel sluggish. You want to feel alive. You want oh gosh, kid.
yeah.
Hang on a minute. I'll just open this for him. Hang on, Graham.
You're right.
Hang on, put that one there. Yeah, quickly. Off you go. Go and sit down. Oh, I'm back again. Now, yeah, energy. So things that works with is like your sleep
Yeah.
and things like that. And
So what do we work on with you?
for me, and I do need to put it into action now a lot now. Even now, I'm finding I've gotten back to is the no screen time before bed.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
It was a toughie, and it's something I think everybody, even if you're not a parent, the no screen time before bed is a biggie. And even during the day, we sit at
Yeah.
like these days, everybody is addicted to screens. Kids are addicted to screens.
It's sort of, it's night and day the difference between when you do the habit, the no screen habit, to how you feel when you're just looking at your screens all the time. You feel so much better.
Oh, you do, and sleep. So for me, the sleep thing was and a lot of people do it. You go to bed and you sit and scroll through your phone.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you've been sitting there for 45 minutes and you're scrolling through your phone, and then you're trying to go to sleep, and your eyes are, and your head, you've been sitting.
Yeah.
So we worked on the no screen habit, and I set mine for 2 hours before bedtime because I am not a good sleeper at the best of times.
Yeah.
Without, and it does take me a lot to wind down of a night. So I went 2 hours before bedtime, no screen. So I'm not much of a TV person, but it was my phone and computer, the things that I really needed to ditch of a night time. So with that, I found it very, very beneficial. So by about day 3, I was going off to sleep much easier and getting a restful night's sleep.
Yeah, it was the first few days we were like, nah, it's not really doing anything yet.
Yeah.
And then, boom, it started feeling really good.
Yes, and then energy. So you're getting a more refreshed night's sleep. Even if, look, I don't sleep dead all night, but I do wake up during the night. But I found myself, I had more energy the next morning getting out of bed. I wasn't sluggish. I wasn't, feeling like I hadn't slept well. So it was good. So the no screen time was is my awesomeness for energy.
Yeah, and it's sort of one of those things like, especially even if you're doing the training you're doing, or even if you're just a busy parent and stressed out, sometimes focusing on that part will get you the results you want anyway, because your body starts going and relaxing and starts not wanting to store everything, thinking it's in a stress state.
Yes.
So you'll get better results quicker.
Exactly. You need the energy to, move and things like that. Even just going for a walk and things like that.
Yeah.
If you haven't got the energy, then that's when the motivation lacks.
That's it.
And things like that. So energy is pretty important when it comes to your well-being, for your fitness and being able to move and things like that.
All right, let's talk about. So you're still in the coaching group. In your words, what is the big benefit you get out of the coaching group, and what do you get, like, as me as your coach, what's the big benefit you get? Because it's different for everybody. What do you get out of it personally?
It is different. I absolutely love and thrive off being a part of the coaching group. As I said, I don't get the opportunity to go. I hope you can hear me. It's raining quite heavily here.
Yeah, it's just about to hit us too, I think.
I don't get to go out to the gym or anything like that, or connect with anyone in that sense. So I love the coaching group. At the end of the day, we check in and we connect and talk about what we've achieved during the day. So that's my connection to people, and I've it's been really nice, and I've actually caught up with a couple of people within like in real real life, and it's it's I love the connection with it, and they're everyone's like-minded. We're all busy parents. We're all trying to stay motivated and get the basics into our day, and it's a real supportive group. So lots of like-minded and supportive people in the group. So that's what I love about it, and being held accountable. That's my thing. Is that's what keeps me, motivated. Because if I didn't, I'd be more inclined to have those more rest days. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's when you get into that habit of stopping, and then you lose it all. Whereas if I having that, when you check in and go, oh, look, I'm having a rough day today. It's a red light day. I just want to have a rest. And even Chris or someone in the group might respond, just go out and do a pull-up, or go and and
do one thing.
Do one thing, and that's just that motivation of someone saying it. I think. And then you'd be surprised once you've done that one thing, you feel much better. And you're glad that you've done it.
It just changes it. It flicks a switch in your head.
It does, and I even find, and I do. I'm pretty highly motivated, and I'm pretty passionate and obsessed about exercise and things like that. But I have my days where I am, I go, oh, it's, I just
can't be stuffed.
Yeah. So, and then just doing it, you feel much better.
Yeah, and it's sort of like
PLP, or even just pick up the sandbag and walk around the kitchen table with it.
Yeah, and sort of like the group is sort of like and we use the group as like a non-judgmental place where if you're having a shit day, people come in and go, I've had a really bad day. It didn't go very well. I don't feel like doing anything, and the whole group is like, that's cool. Just do this. And and like knowing it's okay that you don't have to be this idea of an awesome person. You can do the little thing and still make progress. And when you're feeling good, you do the hard stuff. But when you're feeling crap, you do the easy stuff and keep moving forward.
Yes. Yeah, and even having that plan, I think and I know myself, that red light, red light days, having the plan in place, even if you've got it stuck on the fridge, and even if you're on green light days and things like that, having a red light plan somewhere that that it's going to be, or you've got a busy day ahead or something.
Yeah.
You can just get that done. That's for me. I need to sort of plan ahead. I find that's me. I'm a person, so I do have a whiteboard and I write my days out even the night before.
Yeah.
When it comes just to my my movement, because for me my movement is what makes me feel good and be able to function to be the best mum I can be to the boys.
Yeah, and once you've gone through the journey like you have and you figure that out, it starts being a thing of like, I want to move because it makes me feel better. That's not the I need to move because I know it's something I need to do. You just know that I feel better doing it, so I'm going to do it. So it's a new default setting.
Yes, and that's exactly where I'm at. So, so I have my day planned out, because everyone's days are different. You might, like, today's a quiet day for me, but yesterday was chaotic. Like, busy. And I thought, how am I going to get my 4 sets of my PLP in? I got it in by just taking a moment and just slotting it in, and that was my, you could use your phone even and an alarm, but I tend to have it written down, and I have my whiteboard and it's on the table so that it's there every day, and I'll write down the time and go, okay, well, you know what, I do have, like as I said, PLP doesn't take that long to do. To do my 4 sets, it's under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In those time to do it, so I'll go, okay, before I have to go and do the grind quickly. Like, you don't need your gym gear on to do it. As I posted a photo the other day on the Facebook page, and it was Lincoln and I doing our PRP. We were on our way to a speech therapy session. Yeah,
that was cool. Just before you left.
It was literally just before we left, so it was like, okay, Mummy, we've just got to go out and do 1 set of PLP, which takes not even 3 minutes, really.
Yeah.
And we got it done. You don't need your gym gear on, just get it done. And so that's how I sort of, I have it written down, so I go, okay, there's my 4 sets in, amongst my day that I have to do, and then tick it off, cross it out, whatever, once you've done it, and you go, I've only got 2 sets to go now, and even though you may have an afternoon that looks chaotic, you'll squeeze it in somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about, we'll do a sign-off now, but Think of 3 things if you wanted to pass on to a busy parent and they were trying and struggling in the start. What's 3 tips you could give, or even just 1 tip to help them get started? What would you say?
Support, I
Yes.
think, is the biggie. Is getting support, and it can be hard because sometimes your friend base aren't all on the same page as what you're at, or in the same routine, same life, you've got to be ready for it yourself to do it, and finding your support base.
Yeah.
And for me, as I said, the Fit Parents is my support base. And yeah, support is, I think, the biggest thing, so that you can have someone to, just help you
I
with
agree.
knowledge
And
and
sort of like the A team.
motivation. Yes,
Someone
and
said
like
it.
I do. I train on my own. I don't train with anyone. So, like, you do. You don't necessarily have to think of support being, okay, I need to go and find someone that's going to walk with me every day.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that if it doesn't want to
It
be.
doesn't have to be that. It's just
Yeah.
having that support base. And I really find the Fit Parents and how you run everything, Chris, even with the Facebook pages and things like that, there's support in there, and even just touching base by
Yeah.
inbox with someone. If you get a buddy, and as I said, everyone's so different, you could even do it with your friends and set a goal each week and just go, every day we're going to, walk for 10 minutes, but you don't necessarily have to do it together, because
Yeah.
but, or you could have 2 totally different goals and just touch base with each other, or
Yeah.
in the group or something like that, I think. But support's my big thing. But, yeah, it doesn't have to be support by having someone by your side doing it with you, trying to arrange times, because then that's when it gets hard. It starts for a week and you get to walk together every day, and then something happens by someone can't make it one day, and that's when you can fall in a bit of a hole and it doesn't happen again and things like that. So I find my consistency is just doing it and
Checking in
having
after.
yeah, checking in and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's kind of like I totally agree. And like the support thing's huge, and it's sort of like I heard it somewhere on a podcast this week. It's like the A team, and the A team could be your friends, but most of the time it's people who are outside your circle of friends who allow you to feel safe to experiment with this stuff, because it all is experiment to find what you like, and it's different for everybody, and you need someone to experiment and to share what you're doing, and to get either you get friends who give you a cyber high five or just make you feel good for trying, or there's someone who's there who will give you an idea of what to do next, or there's someone like if you have a support coach who will guide you on what to do and what to stay away from, mainly things that will take you in the wrong direction and give you an ideas of what to do moving forward.
there is a lot out there
Yeah.
when it comes to fitness and that, where, there's a lot out there that's,
It's a lot of noise that you don't need to listen to get what you want, really. It can be super simple, which is what we talk about with the pirate map.
yes.
Um,
My pirate map's pinned up, and that's what I base all my habits around. So
Yeah.
that's my pirate map.
All right, so what's moving forward? What's your big goals? What do you want to do?
Well, we've got Brights on my mind.
Yeah, it's in October this year too.
Oh, is it?
I think they moved it forward a bit.
I've learnt something new today.
Uh-huh.
October. Bright, which is the Spartans. And Bright give you the opportunity to do a trifecta. So I've got the trifecta on my mind this year. I would love to do a trifecta.
So basically, anyone listening, that's going off and doing the 7K, the 14K on the first day, and then coming back and doing the 21Ks on the second day, or the 42. You can do either or either.
I know. And then I'm toying of, or do I do the 42?
Could be fun. It'd be full on, but it'll be fun.
I know. So that's it's that would be my biggie for the year. Would be that.
Yeah.
Those two. And just progressing with my running. So for me at the moment, I'm trying to work on a 5K goal.
Yes.
I've got a 5K goal, which I'm not. I need to. I've got to get some consistency there, and as a parent, it's hard to get some consistency. But I'm not hard on myself with it. I'm not obsessing over it. But I do have a 5K goal that I'm enjoying. Sort of trying to. It's a challenge, but I'm still enjoying it. So that's where I'm at with my running, and I'm enjoying at the moment working with kids. I've got some
Yeah.
now running with kids. So my boys are at Albury West Public School, and the nail can event that's on in May, they have a school can, which is the half can, and schools can enter as like a team. And so I've been doing 2 mornings a week at Albury West Public, running with the kids. So
Which is awesome.
and I love it. I really love it. It's actually like, yeah, I think when I say I need to be consistent with my running here, because I'm focusing and loving that so much. I'm running with my boys more than I am worrying about how fast I'm running and doing things at the moment.
Which is good because it's an enjoyment thing more than a I need to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm really enjoying that. Like my eldest, he's 9, and he's getting really into it now and wanting to do park run and things like that now. So like usually park run, I'm there going hammer and tong going, let's see if I can PB this week. Whereas Campbell, I think, when we get the opportunities now, I think I'm going to just enjoy it more running with him.
Yeah.
Just cruising.
That's good.
And yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. So yeah, with the Spartan at the end of the year, and yeah, looking forward to getting to day 60 with my PLP.
It's going to be pretty good. Like, you're almost into the last week, which is basically 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, which is a lot of volume in 1 week. But because you built it up, the body will be fine. But like you said, you listen to your body in the way you're running, and running's sort of like your check-in with yourself, where if you push PLP too hard, the running suffers a bit, and you can space it out or break it up a bit.
Yeah, that's right, and that's how I do it. So yeah, so when it comes to strength at the moment, I'm literally working on PLP. That's all I'm working on. I'm not throwing anything else in there, and it's enough.
Yeah, with that much volume, it's plenty enough.
And I am seeing improvement in it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about like even what another month of PLP will do for me. It's it's really good. So yeah.
Cool. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
Oh, I can't think of anything else. I've talked a lot.
That's pretty cool. We've been going for 47 minutes and it was easy.
Oh, good stuff. That's good.
All right, we'll sign off now. We'll say goodbye, everyone. See yous, everybody.
Bye.